You are watching or listening to the Good Morning Gwinnett Show, hosted by Audrey Bell Kearney, bringing you your daily dose of business and technology to educate, empower, and inspire small business owners. Be sure to subscribe to the show today.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, all my Gwinnetians out there in Gwinnett land and all of my friends around the world. It's a beautiful day here in Gwinnett County. It's a little overcast though, but it's 55 degrees going up to a high of 73. Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful day. Listen, I am so happy to be here with you guys today. I have a guest. I think he may have the wrong link, so I'm going to send him the link again. This is the blueprint. This is the blueprint, y'all, and I'm happy to be here with you guys. If you know anything about me, you know I love business. You know I love being an entrepreneur. I just love being a part of this ecosystem, and I love being able to talk to great people. So I'm excited about my guest today. Got to give him the link though. I think he has the wrong link. And and if he does, it's probably my fault because I'm booking so many people till I probably just did not some kind of way get him the right link. But I love being an entrepreneur. I've been one for 28 years. It's a very long time. Yes, I'm dating myself. Been one for 28 years, 26 of those years full time. And I still love I still love talking to people about business. I still love being able to share information about entrepreneurship. I still love all of that stuff. So I'm so excited that I get a chance to talk to really amazing people and let them share their stories and what they had to do to become successful at the things that they do. Today, my guest, I didn't know him, but I follow his company, one of his companies, Earn Your Leisure. I follow his company. I've been following it for a while now. I'm always talking about those guys. I'm always talking about all the great things that they do and Earn Your Leisure. And when you see them, you think it's just three of them, but it's a team of them, and he is a part of that team. So I'm excited to have him as my guest today. But before I do that, listen, if you have not subscribed to the show, please do me a favor and subscribe. When you subscribe to the show, it helps with the algorithms and it helps the show continues to grow, especially on YouTube. I have a big goal this year of getting to my first 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I've been had that goal for a long time. It's not just this year. I've been had the goal to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube for a long time. Now I have a ton of audio videos over there. And when I say audio videos, it's like weird. It's like audio videos. And I don't even understand how that works. But YouTube has podcasts. I've been podcasting since 2018. I think I've done 1,200 episodes so far. Most of them are all audio. And I've been doing this whole podcasting audio kind of thingy. And I have been yeah. Anyway, subscribe to the show if you're listening to it on Apple, if you're listening to it on Spotify, because of course I'm everywhere. I'm trying to, when you're looking in the video camera, you kind of look like lopsided kind of. Anyway, I've been pushing the show and I've been growing the show and I've been kind of shying away from video because I'm like, man, I got to get up every morning and put on makeup and all that good stuff. I mean, I could come natural, but no, I don't want to. So I have to put myself in a position to get on here and look cute. So that's what I try to do. But anyway, subscribe to the show, share the show with a friend, and and be sure to leave feedback. I want to know, if there's a guest you want me to bring on, let me know. I have a roster of wonderful people that's coming on the show. If you go to my LinkedIn page, you'll see all of the scheduled shows there, or the YouTube page. You'll see all of the scheduled shows and all the great people who are going to be on the show. Hey, listen, the Georgia AI Summit is happening in May 21st. I'm super excited about that. We did it last year. It was amazing. I'm looking forward to it this year. I met a gentleman back in October, I think it was, or September. He had created, listen to this. He said he created 18 children's books in 30 days, leveraging AI. 18. And when I look at AI right now, it is doing amazing things. Like I create so much content because of AI. I create all kinds of things. I create artwork. I'm working on apps. I'm doing all kinds of stuff. But AI is like a big, a big reason I can do all these things. And let me tell you something. I don't know how to code a lick, but I do know how to work a computer. I've been working a computer. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just trying to make sure he got the link. I sent him the link again. And if you know anything about entrepreneurs, we hate being late. We hate missing out. We freak out. Like that's what we do. When things don't work out right, we freak out. I'm freaking out right now. You just don't see it as much, but I am. And he's probably doing the same thing because he's probably wondering what the heck, why is it not working? Okay, I sent it to him. I'm in the link now. I see you. Oh, I don't see him. He says he sees me, but I don't see him. I can't. Okay, use this link. I don't see him. Okay, I don't see you. Uh, I see something says present. And the other thing too, they change things so around. They change things around so much because like any company, every company is doing their very best to make their company the best. So the companies change. Like I came in this morning and I use StreamYard and I see this thing say, I see my picture at the bottom of the screen, but then I see something that says present or invite. I'm like, okay, what is that? So I'm thinking that was him. I'm like, well, that's something new. But anyway, as we continuously to grow our company, we try to do everything we can to make that happen. And I'm always excited when I get the chance to talk to people. Michael is somebody who I came across. He was on the David Shan show on Social Proof Podcast, and he was talking about that he was a partner with EYL. So for those of you who don't know what EYL is, go check it out. It's Earn Your Leisure. I'm always talking about them, especially now that I've heard about the whole Africa thing. So and I'm going to talk about that because I'm interested in going to Ghana. I'm interested in building a house there. I'm interested in that whole thing. And I know they were doing some things there. So I'm going to talk about that. But I watch EYL some Mondays. And I remember, and I watched them. So I watched them. I watched Ian. I watched Troy Rashad. They talk about marketing and they talk about stocks and all that good stuff. So I'm always watching them do that. Right. And me and my husband, like, look, you got to watch and see what they're saying because they know about stocks. So we would watch that, but I had never heard of Michael until he did Social Proof Podcast. And I was like, okay, he's a part of the team because you never hear about him. You see those three guys. You never hear about Michael. So he has been behind the scenes doing amazing work, growing that brand to a multi-million-dollar brand. He's behind EYL University. He's behind InvestFest. He's behind a lot of stuff that happens at Earn Your Leisure. And it's so crazy because I don't like being the face of my business, right? And I remember some years ago, I had co-authored a book with two friends, and we went to Terry Williams, who was a publicist at the time for like Eddie Murphy and Michael Jackson, and we were like, "Look, we got this book. Can you help us? Can you be our publicist?" And she said to us, "I don't think you can afford me." And at that time, I think her fee was like $4,500 a month, and I was like, "Okay, so." Okay, probably not. So she referred us to a young lady. Her name was Renee Foster, and she was just starting out. And again, her fee was too high too. But what she said to me was, Audrey, you cannot be behind the scenes and grow a brand. I didn't even know what that meant. I'm talking about years ago, y'all. I was like, I don't know what that means. I don't care about that. But anyway, I'm always behind the scenes, and I was like, okay, Audrey, you got to get out there. I'm behind the mic a lot. Like 1,200 episodes of me talking, that's a lot of talking. But I'm not too much in front of the videos. But I am now, and so that's why I'm happy to have my guest. So he has found his way in, so I'm going to bring him to the stage. Michael J. MacDonald, welcome, welcome, welcome. How are
What's
you?
going on? What's going on? How you doing? How you doing? I was sitting on the wrong link. I
You
don't know.
know what? And I think what happened was, so StreamYard changed some things around and it booked two shows. Like it booked two episodes. I thought I deleted all the links to the episode. And I'm like, what the heck's happened? So that's why I was like, let me drop the link in there. But I understand. I don't know if you were freaking out like me because I freak out about this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm
You
like,
probably
I
didn't.
called my brother. I'm like, what's going on? I couldn't find it. I'm in the link now. Oh no, this is the StreamYard link.
Yeah.
This is the StreamYard link. We live.
Hey Vincent, that's Vincent. That's your
Go to her
brother.
LinkedIn page. Go to her LinkedIn page. It's live on her LinkedIn page.
It's live
How
on
you
my
doing though?
YouTube.
How you doing? I'm sorry about that. Sorry about the mix up, But I was on. I
Listen,
was
it
ready at 10
happens.
o'clock. I'm like, where's she at? Where's she at? I'm ready to go.
Listen.
I'm ready to pop my
I'm
ear.
in here early, like fumbling around, making sure things work right. And so, but listen, I appreciate you being here, and it's okay. Stuff happens all the time, and I freak out in my own little way over here. And I'm telling people I'm freaking out right now. You guys may not see it, but
Sorry
thank you
about
so
that
much
though.
for being here. I know you're a busy man, and I was telling them a little bit about the story. Like I watch Earn Your Leisure late night. I'm a YouTube late night kind of person, so I watch it, and I remember seeing you on Social Proof. And I was like, wait a minute, it's four of them? Because you only see the three. You never see you. So,
It's
I
two of
want to
us.
talk to you about
Oh, you talking
it's
about
two of you. Well,
Ian's with
Ian,
Mark.
yeah. I mean, I
Yeah,
always see
Ian's
Ian.
our
I always
partner.
see,
He's with Market Mondays. Yep.
yep. So I see them three all the time.
But
And
Earn Your
so, and it's
Leisure
funny.
is Troy Rashad and Michael.
Okay. See, but I've never seen you till I saw you on Shan's show, and I was like, wait a minute, it's another one. But it was
Yeah.
interesting because I was telling somebody after the election, like I watched the show, y'all, and I just gotta tell y'all this quick story, and I'm gonna let Michael do an introduction of himself. But I was watching the show right after the election, right? If you watch Earn Your Leisure, you will see that Rashad is always pretty laid back, Troy's pretty laid back, Ian is always like to the next level. I watched the Blackout, I think it was. Rashad was in rare form. I was like, who is that guy? He was in rare form because he was really annoyed with people because they were saying crazy stuff. But I talked about that for a couple of days because I'm not used to seeing him like that. I'm always used to Ian say what he has to say, and he doesn't care. But Rashad is pretty reserved most of the time. He just spit knowledge. So Michael, thank you so much. Tell the people about who you are. I know you grew up, and you grew up in the inner city. I grew up in Newark, so shout out to all my friends on the bricks.
You grew up harder than me.
So yeah,
I ain't gonna front like I
you
grew up hard. Now I had an easy life compared to you.
right.
Shit,
So tell us about
if
that.
you around my age when you was growing up, there was a lot of cars stealing in Newark. That was the
Car
spot.
still, they stole my car. They stole my car. They stole my cousin's car. They stole my
I'm
car
not
out my
surprised.
driveway like
I'm not
twice.
surprised. I'm not
Yeah,
surprised. I'm
yeah,
glad you made it out. Are you in Gwinnett County? Is that what? That's why the show's called
I
Gwinnett, right? You
am.
made it out. I'm,
I am in
I'm
Gwinnett
I'm
County.
happy that you made it out. I'm happy.
Yeah. But you know what? I have to say this. Newark made me who I am. I
Of
grew up,
course.
I went to West Side. Shout out to all the Rough Riders. It made me who I am. My mom and Newark, because my mom was a single parent. And I know you grew up in a single parent household too. So talk about that.
Yeah, I grew up with a single parent, but I had three brothers who used to beat me up, and a sister used to beat them up for beating me up. So but it was obviously it was tough growing up in the projects. Um, anytime you're in an environment where there's poverty, and you have like one parent, like I can't even imagine how my mom did it, like how she was able to take. I got two kids, and I'm doing well, and my wife is doing well, and it's still hard. It's still hard to like maintain a lifestyle. And she had five kids, one income. I commend her, man. But I think that's where I get my hustle from my mom, because like seeing how like she did it and never missed a meal, never had the lights turn off. You know,
Yeah.
anything I ever wanted, I always was able to get. She'd always get it for me somehow, some way. She make miracles. She was definitely a miracle worker. But I like, and let me tell you a story. So, I mean, it's not funny because my mom died, right? When my mom died when I was 21 years old, my older brother was living in the Bronx. So he's about 20 minutes from where we live. And I live with my mom, and my Vincent that he lived, I think he was in college. So he didn't live with he lived with us, like, but he was in college. So she passes away, and like everything just is like messed up. Like we're all like scrambling. Then my brother from the Bronx and his fiance at the time moves in with us, because now we have this 4-bedroom house, and we got a 4-bedroom apartment, and we got to fill it up because they're gonna kick us out. If you know anything about public housing, you have to report your incomes. It was just a bunch of mess, and we're just trying to
Yep.
figure it out because we don't know that. I didn't know this stuff, and I had my nephew with me, and I had to take ownership of my nephew. I'm like, I don't want this responsibility. I'm 21 years old. So I had to
Yeah.
sign the government, whatever the law, sign him to me. I had to sign him to my brother. It was just,
Guardianship.
but the crazy thing, this is what I want. This is what I want to get to. Like, so it's my two oldest brothers, me, my brother's fiance, living in this apartment. And let me tell you, it was times when we ain't had no food. It was times where the lights went off. I ain't never experienced this with my mom. It's like crazy how she was able to make it work by herself. Meanwhile, it's all four of us, and we all got an income, and we can't make it work. So shout out to my mom, man. She literally just she made things happen, And I think I get my hustle from her. Like I always want more. I'm always gonna make it happen. Like it might be at the buzzer beater, but I'm always gonna make it happen. So that was one thing that I loved about my mom. She was a hustler. She always made it happen.
Yeah, my mom was the same way. Like it was two of us and her. And so, and what was interesting about my mother though, she moved us through Newark. So I was born in Georgia. I was born in Albany, Georgia. Shout out to my family down in Albany. But my mom moved us to Georgia when I was like 12, and she moved us through Newark. So she moved us straight through Newark till she got us to the suburbs. And by the
Mhm.
time my brother and I were grown, we both had houses in the suburbs. And they used to call us gypsies because we moved so much. But her
Wow.
goal was to get us out the hood and get us to like the suburbs, and she did that. And by the time we were grown, we both had our houses in the suburb. Would you say that your growing up made you who you are with the help of your mom?
Yeah, I mean, all the experiences, my mom, my grandmother, my uncles, my brothers, my sister, my friends, every piece of part, like I'm learning how to speak and articulate my thoughts, right? And in one of the lessons, they said if after I'm done teaching you the system on how to tell a story, you're gonna understand that you got thousands and thousands and thousands of stories because every little thing could be a story. Like me waiting, trying to find the right link to get to you so we can do this interview, and I can't find it, but it's a story in that, right? But the principle is learning the right. We got to have the right link. But what I'm saying is, we all have like so many stories, and all these different stories in my life or experiences are a part of my cartilage, a part of me, right? A part of who I am. So I don't think each part of these little experiences or experiences with people are who made me who I am.
Yeah.
Does that make
What were
sense?
some of the challenge? Yeah, it does because it's true. What were some of your challenges like growing up that you look back on and say, "Man, I don't know how I did that." Because I remember going to school one day, and you right, I grew up in Newark. I remember going to school one day, and so down here in Georgia, there's a school bus that come and pick you up to take you to school, right?
Mhm.
In Jersey, there is no such thing unless you were on the if you were on the school bus, there was some issues, some challenges there, right? But I remember getting to the bus stop one day because I wasn't close to my school, standing at the bus stop, and there was a guy dead right in front of me. And it was like nothing. It was like he was laying right in front of the bus stop. So those are things that I look back on. It's like, man, how was I not traumatized by that? So when and you're growing up, were there things that you look back on and say, man, how was I not traumatized by that? Because that was one of the things that come to mind for me, and that was just one of many.
Well, I'm gonna say the first thing that comes to my mind, and being in the projects, and I'm half white, and my mother was white. My mother was white, my father was black, so that makes me half white. So growing up as white in a black community, pretty tough. You was made fun of. You was always I was called backboard, t-shirt, white boy, all types of white Mike, and that it did probably play on my insecurities and stuff, and like what is wrong with me. So that's the first thing that came to my mind when you said what was one of the challenges growing up. Growing up, with white in you in a predominantly black community. I think it was one other black family, and they left when I was like 7, 8 years old. So they were pretty. They didn't stay too long. So that was definitely a challenge. I mean, I ain't gonna front. The thing is, my brothers made it easier. Like my older brother, like Rich, Gary. I don't know if Gary was really lived in the project. Yeah, he was there too. So my oldest brother, Gary, probably laid the foundation, and the next brother came and laid that foundation, and it made it easier for me because they were all, they're all just like me, half white, half black. So I think it was a little easier, but definitely my friends made fun of me because I was white. So
Yeah.
that was definitely a
So
challenge.
now, yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, because I was a chunky girl, so but I would fight though, so I was a little rough. So you call me fat, I'm gonna fight you. So that was my challenge in school, and I'm just keeping it real, y'all. You say something like that, we got to fight now because now you didn't hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
Um, you started in tech when you were like 14. What drew you to tech?
Look,
Because I
look
I
at
I
you.
was
Look
very
at
good
you.
in
Look at you on the
math and
research. All right.
science.
All right. All right.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. I can't be out here trying to do my job and not do my job.
Yeah,
Um,
a lot of people
I'm
don't do
like,
the research. They don't do the research. They just get on and wing it.
I mean, I could, but I won't, because I really because I got notes over here. I got a lot of them, and I was like, okay, I got to break this down, so I'm gonna keep the man on here all day. So you've been in tech for a long time, and I love tech. I think tech is amazing. I think it helps us do a lot of things. What drew you to tech? Because I remember doing my first what was it, DOS coding. I think I was in 10th grade, and we
MS
made a
DOS,
candy cane.
Microsoft DOS.
DOS, right? I'm dating myself, y'all, like really dating myself. That's when they had a floppy disk drive.
Yep.
Some kids right now probably, what the heck is a floppy? What got you interested in tech?
Well, the thing is that my brother had a computer. I couldn't afford a computer, but my brother was able to get a computer, and I got on his computer and I started using it. You know, I would, and he didn't want me to use it. He would like kind of like I would have to sneak and use it because he think I would mess it up because I was a young kid. So that was my oldest brother. Like I don't think I ever said that. So he had a computer first, and I would like mess with his computer, play with his computer, and he had this. I think it was a Sony computer, but it was a dope computer playing with. And I liked the fact that you know I could do like Word documents. I could do this is before he didn't have the internet yet. Like the AOL was just coming on. And then I get to my other brother, and that's when he had Photoshop. So he used to like he was a drawer. So he had a Wacom tablet and he would draw these dope designs. And then drawing the designs, he would take it into Photoshop and then enhance it, put color in it, make it 3D if he wanted to, and you know, just make it stand out and make it a digital asset. So it went from like a physical asset to a digital asset. So with him having all those tools in his computer, I started to use the computer. He let me use his computer. And I started to learn Photoshop. I started to play with that. I started to make flyers. And I was online. I would Google things. I would do so many things with this computer. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. Like I could do anything in the world. I could have access to everything in the world. And I didn't even have access to only but so much so we have access to today. But I just loved it. Then like Black Planet, I loved, you know, I was making I forgot
Yeah.
about that. Like I was getting money from making people's Black pages, like Black Planet pages. Remember how they
Wow.
had a design? Like I mastered that. I was like the king of that. I made probably like hundreds of Black Planet pages, like for people. But
What were you
I
charging for
just
those?
like $100 to do your Black Planet page.
Okay.
So I mean,
Okay.
I think the fact that I was able to escape my current environment, and when I was in this computer, I was in a whole nother world. That allowed me to just I like fell in love with technology, and I just didn't want to stop doing. I didn't want to stop being from behind a computer.
Yeah. And today technology. So listen to what he said, y'all, because this is called a blueprint. He said, I learned how to do Photoshop and I kept doing it when the internet was on AOL, which means it was like that's what it was doing, right? Now
Mhm.
you can just turn on anything and it just pop up. He learned how to do that. He started making Black Planet pages. Now, for those of you who are saying, what the heck is Black Planet? Go back and look. There's MySpace, Black Planet. Go back and look. I think it was Vine. Go back and look. Those were pre all these other ones that you see, pre Instagram, pre TikTok for sure. Go check that out. So he said he started to learn. Michael, there's so much content out right now. Like you can just go to any form and learn anything. How do you help people get past the noise? Because it's just a lot. I personally, I'm always telling people to go to Udemy. Like spend the weekend, go to Udemy, learn something new, right? Because
Mhm.
it's just a lot of stuff to learn.
Well,
What do
we're
you
gonna
say
get
to
you
those
to
people?
we're gonna get you to promote a different link. We're gonna get you to promote the MacPac.com. Forget about Unity, the
Listen,
MacPac.com.
all right, listen, I will promote it every day, all day, right here. I'm
Yeah,
here
a
4 days a
Black-owned
week on this
company.
five. Listen, I'm here 5 days a week on Good Morning Gwinnett, and I do videos on Fridays. Michael's special because he's here on Thursday, but that's because I got a meeting tomorrow. But when people have so much content to go out and learn from, I mean, it's overwhelming for a lot of folks. And I know this because I talk to a lot of people. When I'm not doing the show, I'm the president of the Gwinnett Women's Chamber of Commerce. So when I'm not doing this show, I'm talking to business owners who's like, Audrey, I'm just overwhelmed. How do you help people get past that? Because it's overwhelming.
Well, it's definitely hard it's hard to not get overwhelmed. It's hard to not get discouraged. The issue is that people are doing things like they're making content. Like just say a content creator starts off today. They start off today and they want immediate results. They want to get more views. They want to get more followers. They want to get more subscribers. They want to start making money. The thing is that it takes time, right? And a lot of times where you have to, one, like when we built and Earn Your Leisure, we really believed in what we were doing, right? That was one. Two is we knew it was helping people because it was helping us. So the information we were learning for ourselves, but also telling to other people, and it was helping us. By helping
Mhm.
us, we knew that it was some good content. It was good. It was something. What we were doing was good. Now, it may have not made money, which it didn't make money. It wasn't a profitable company for the first like 18 months. So we could have stopped on the 17th month. And you probably would have never heard of us, and millions of other people would have never heard of us. But the goal is, how do you get past the noise? Is you stay true to it. You continue to do it until that moment where everything changes for you, and you have to really believe that that's going to happen for you. But you have to look at yourself. What you're doing, is it helping people? Are you entertaining people? Is it solving a problem? So those are the things that you have to make sure you're doing, because some people are just making content and it's not doing anything. It's not helping people. It's not entertaining people. It's not solving a problem. What are you doing it for, right? And if that's what you're doing and you consistently do it every day, and it's not working, then you have to change something, right? So the way to get past the noise is believe it, be consistent, be willing to change what you're doing if it's not working. And eventually, if you don't give up, it's going to come a point where everything's going to change. Like, I found this guy. I wish I knew his name. I found this guy on Instagram literally today. He's pretty big. That's the crazy thing. He's putting his face in the water. Do you know his name?
I do not.
Yeah. So Ashton Hall, right? This guy has got 6 million followers. He got 6 million. I'm gonna do a video on my YouTube about his whole page. I'm gonna do an audit on his whole page. He got 6 million followers in the past 2 months. So I say this, right?
What?
Literally 6 million. It was so hard for him to get the first million followers. So hard. Probably so hard to get the first $1 million for his company. So hard. But in the it probably took him, he started his page in 2012. So it took him 13 years to get 1 million followers, right?
Wow. Yeah.
It took him 2 months to get 5 million followers because he found his niche. He found the gap. He understood the gap from what people's problem was and what his solution was, and he connected it. And the moment he connected that, everything changed for his page. Because if you look on his page, because I'm gonna do a whole order on his page, how he changed his content, how he was being more interactive, how he understood his niche, he understood the message, he was clear with it. He does the ARC, the little sounds or whatever that's called. He understood all those things, but he didn't do that in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
So you may start off your company today, and it may look different a year from now. Like, we started off our company, the first 10 episodes or so, it was 6. The first 6 episodes, we didn't even interview anybody because that wasn't how we were just gonna do Troy and Rashad and talk about businesses and talk about different deals and talk about different investments. And that's that's what we looked at Earn Your Leisure for. But we started to listen to the people, and we started to understand that bringing other people on, and you attach yourself to their audience if they have an audience, and now they bring their audience to our audience, and our audience grows. And then we get other information, understanding their knowledge and their wealth of knowledge, because Troy and Rashad don't know everything, right? So they have to bring experts in different fields. You bring those experts in different fields, and it's at a time where people want to learn. They want to get more information. They're tired of working 9 to 5. They're tired of the system. They're tired of the society saying you got to retire at 60, and tired of saying this is my salary, and tired of like vacation. Like, I want a vacation. Like, just think of it. You're vacating your current life. I want a vacation. I want to vacate my current life. That doesn't even make sense. Why would you want to vacate your life? You should have a life that you want to be in all the time. You don't want to vacate, right? Yeah. So all these different things we're hearing, and people are hearing as well, and they want to change. So, and this is what this is why the timing for us was so needed. And that definitely helped us catapult our success.
You said that belief is everything. You said there was one thing that you changed, that changed your mindset, it changed your money, and it changed your life. What was that one thing? You said that in one of your videos. What was it?
Which video refer to?
You said there was one thing that I changed, and it changed my life, it changed my money, and it changed my mindset. And I think for a lot of people, it's the belief. You said you have to believe. And I remember when I first started doing Good Morning with Nat, and I come back to that. It was just audio. And I remember I've been podcasting since like 2009, since podcasting started. I came from traditional radio, went right into podcasting, came to Georgia, and I decided I'm gonna start a podcast. And I did that. I interviewed Bill Cosby's two nephews. He has two nephews that lived in the metro Atlanta area, very nice guys. Interviewed them. They talked about really amazing stuff they were doing, but it was audio. It wasn't a lot of video. Now, what's
Mhm.
interesting is that my first YouTube channel I launched in 2006. I was doing a show called
Wow.
Sister Inc. Right.
Wow.
But I didn't know what I didn't know. So I
Yes.
was like, man, and I had a real professional team producing the show from a cafe. I didn't know what I didn't know.
Woo.
And I was like, this is taking too long. This is taking way too long. I got a kid. I can't be doing this thing for free. So I let it go. I look back at that. I think I looked back about a year ago. I want to cry, Michael, because I was like, man, I can't believe where I would have been if I had kept going. YouTube started in 2005. My channel was launched in 2006. It was crazy. But talk about belief for a minute, because a lot of people, they start stuff, and I'm guilty. I have done this before, and I vowed when I started Good Morning Gwinnett that I don't care what happened, I wouldn't stop. Even when my mom passed in 2021 from COVID, she passed at 5:15
I'm
that
sorry to hear
morning.
that.
10 o'clock, I was right here doing the show, crying and everything, but I vowed that I wouldn't stop. Talk about the belief, and talk about the pivots, because you said it, we made some pivots along the way. We started one way, but we did some pivots. Talk about that.
Well, it's very important to believe what you're doing. If you don't believe what you're doing, how can you make other people believe what you're doing? So you wanna do something that you believe that you can do, right? Again, about the speaking, I believe I could be a great speaker. I sincerely believe I could be a great speaker. And I do sincerely believe some people have this skill, are gifted with the skill, and some people aren't. It's been the most challenging thing that I've ever had to go through with learning how to speak. I can't even see it. Let me
Uh-oh.
see. What is this comment?
It
Oh, I'm
says
reading.
Mike. That's Mike line. You don't know what you don't know. That's your line. That's what Vincent is saying.
Listen, I ain't taking no
Yeah.
line. All right, so yeah, so you wanna believe what you're doing, right? So everything that I've ever done has been pretty easy, believe it or not, because I went to school for graphic design. Why did I go to school for graphic design? Because it was easy, you know. I like to be challenged, but I like to conquer the challenges. I like to know I can conquer them. This speaking thing has been the hardest, challenging, most. It's been the hardest thing ever for me to grasp, because
Why are
it's
you
it's,
an
it's so.
introvert? Is that why?
I'm sorry.
Are you an introvert? Is that why it's been challenging?
That's the crazy thing. I'm an extrovert. Like Rashad's an introvert. Troy's a people person. Like, but if you notice, if you study all these great speakers, most of them are introverts. Like, when I'm in front of people, I'm good. Like, put me in a room. It's like I'm a social butterfly. But I think when I get on stage and I start speaking, my stomach just twirls, and
Yeah.
I got to do it so much where it doesn't bother me anymore. The thing is, what I think in the back of my head is anything that I had a challenge to do, it became easier once I continued doing it. So if I continue doing, like, riding my bike, I remember it was so hard for me to ride my bike and I would always fall. But eventually it became easy. Swimming. I used to be terrified of swimming. I used to almost drown. It was the hardest thing to learn, right? One of the hardest things to learn. But as I continue to do it, it became easier. The more I speak, it's becoming easier. Like, I'm a lot better than I was a year ago, right? And wealth of knowledge, that what I'm realizing, that my memory bank, like, I got mad memories. I got mad things that I know, but I got a lot of things that I know, but you have to keep exercising those muscles to keep those things active in your brain. And me reading, that's why I put the books here, because I'm reading now. So this is going to exercise that muscle. Your brain is a muscle. The more you exercise it, the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. And this is what I've been pouring into myself. I got 3 different coaches. I got one coach for speaking, one coach for presenting. I got a coach for selling. I'm investing in myself, and I want to get better at this. This is the biggest challenge I've ever had to face. But the most important thing is why I'm not going to give up is because I believe it. I believe I'm going to be a great speaker. I believe I'm going to be one of the best speakers. I believe I'm going to make a full-time living just off of speaking. I believe that I'm going to change people's lives with the words that come out of my mouth, with my stories, with my experiences. I believe it. And because I believe it, I'm never going to stop doing it. I'm not going to give up. And that's really what changed. That's what changed my life automatically. You got to believe in what you do, and you can't dim your light for someone else. That was one of the biggest things I've been doing, because I've been living in the back. I was behind the scenes my whole life. I've been building multiple millions of dollars of companies for like 20 years, 25 years. And I've been dimming my light for someone else's light to shine. And that was the one thing that changed my life forever. Brand yourself. Everybody needs to brand themselves. They need to, whatever you're good at, you need to let everyone else know that you're good at it. Because when you pour into someone else, you know what's going to happen to your cup, right? It's going to stay empty.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and if your cup empty, you're going to be thirsty while they got a full glass of cup drinking and well nourished.
Yeah.
Does that make
You know, when I
sense?
started, absolutely. When I started Good Morning Gwinnett, I started out because I just wanted to do audio, but I realized, I was like, man, I got a great opportunity here. I live in Gwinnett County. It's over 1 million people here. We got one news organization, you know, and they're talking about just general news. And I was trying to figure it out, like, how do I do it? So the last couple of years, it's like, okay, this is what you're going to focus on. You're going to focus on business. You're going to focus on tech because you love those things. And that's another thing. You said that too. Really focusing on the things that you love and that you could commit to. Because I know for me, if it's about business and tech, all day long I could talk about it. Podcasting, all day long I could talk about it. Talk about it in my sleep. I speak on podcasting, and I decided, you know what, Audrey, no matter what, you're gonna turn Good Morning Gwinnett into a multi-million-dollar media company. And so what I did was I'm relaunching my mobile app. I'm relaunching my Fire TV app. You know, so all of the little things that I needed to do to make it into this company that I'm doing. So when
I
you
love
guys
I love your
started EY.
background. Your screen and everything looks really nice.
Thank you. And that's my office too. So I like music. So I use AI for everything. So I'm in here making music. I'm doing all the great stuff, Michael. All the things that you probably do in your time. Um, you have to you started EYL with Rashad and Troy. Did you guys start it out as a partnership, or did you say, you know what, let's turn this into a business? How did that come about? How did that friendship come about?
Well, I've known Troy and Rashad in middle school, elementary school, like since I was like 5. I knew Troy since I was like 5. I knew Rashad since like 11, 10, 11. So we started multiple businesses. But the problem was, when we were starting these businesses, we were starting them because we wanted to make money. That was the goal, to make money. And then, they all failed. And then we started this one business. We started working on Rashad's Instagram. So Rashad wanted to be, the most famous financial advisor on the web. And he came to me, and that's when I started to help him, build his social media up. Like, whether it was teaching him how to use social media, doing all his pictures, his video, and just position him where he could win. And that's that's a problem, right? A lot of people start a business and they're not even positioned to win. The good thing about Rashad is that I already had a few successful businesses under my belt, and I knew social media. I knew the podcasting game. I knew all that stuff. So I was able to at least set him up and have him in a position where he can win. So it wasn't like, it's like a trainer, right? I'm about to start training with this new trainer. And, when you're doing an exercise, if you do the exercise wrong, you're wasting all this energy, you're wasting all this time, because you're working out this muscle and it's the wrong technique. So what's going to happen is you're not going to build that muscle because you're doing it wrong. That's like a business. If you start off a business with the wrong foundation, with the wrong business model, with the wrong marketing, the wrong strategy, what's going to happen is you're going to waste all your time, all your money, and it's not going to go nowhere, because it's like a nice looking car, but there's no engine in it. And that's why I started the business engine, right? Because I realized that's what I am to a lot of people. I'm the engine to a lot of these brands, these faces. I put the right interior inside these beautiful looking cars, right? Brands or businesses. Like, I allow you, I give them the chance to grow and put them in a place where they can grow, and put them in a fast lane to grow. So that's been my gift, being able to see greatness in people. Like, Rashad had 300 followers when I started working with him. I could have said, I'm not working with him. Why would I do that? You got 300 followers, bro. You got to grow some more. But one, he was my friend, and two, I believed in him. And a lot of times people don't even believe in themselves. And I believe more in them than they believe in themselves. So it's like, you got to believe in them, right? So that was how it first started. And then again, it's going to listen to what the people are saying. The people are saying that they wanted a podcast. They wanted more information because Rashad was giving some really great knowledge online about business deals, like the vitamin deal with 50 Cent, why he made $100 million. Rest in peace, the guy who just died, who had all the franchises. People never knew this stuff. Like, they didn't even know this was possible, right? And these people look like us and making hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, and they're not even doing it playing basketball or rapping. They're doing it a bunch of different other ways. So they're like, wow, how can we get more of this information? Like, I love this. Why don't you start a podcast? Start a podcast. And that's when he hit up Troy, and Troy already came up with the term earn your leisure. So a lot of Rashad's early content would have hashtag earn your leisure on it. So that was way before. So earn your leisure, the name was something, but it was hashtag earn your leisure. And then he came up with, he hit up Troy and was like, yo, let's do a podcast. You be the host with me. You know what I'm saying? And that's when he hit me up like, yo, build it out. Let's, you got the podcast, the podcast, and that's basically what we did. And once we started, you can tell that the audience really was needing it. They wanted it because the first episode did like 2,000 views. That's not typical, right? Granted, Rashad had 40,000 followers by the time we started Earn Your Leisure. So that took 2 years to grow, 40,000 followers. So Earn Your Leisure passed Rashad's page in like 3 or 4 months. And I told Rashad, I said, watch, Earn Your Leisure. And he didn't believe it, but I'm like, people will rather follow a brand before they follow a person. I don't know if it's like an insecurity thing or like, I don't know if the philosophy behind it, but people would be more inclined to follow a brand before they follow a person. So once that launched, after the 2001st view, the next one, 25, it just kept growing. Obviously, we had moments where we had to pivot, right? That's when we started bringing interviews on because people started asking for interviews. We started to interview people. That helped our growth because now we're tapping into different things that we don't know. So now, if it was, I think Miss Business was our first guest, and she was big in taxes. So we were learning. We were learning about taxes as well as teaching our audience about taxes. And that's just how it went. That was the process, and it just blew up from there. And then I always envisioned it being really big in America. I didn't envision it to be big around the world. That's what blew me. Like, London blew my mind. That was when I was like, what we're doing, I don't think we realize what we're doing because we're in the moment, right? We're in the moment as it's happening. But the moment we step out of it and look at all the things that we achieved thus far, it's monumental. It's legendary.
How did London come about? Like what? Because I know you can see the show all over the world. How did London? And then I want to talk about Africa, of course, and then we're going to go to InvestFest. How did London come about?
So it's good because I'm half white, so I can say this, right? So I'm in London for about 3 or 4 days, right? Because we fly to London before our event, and I'm in London. I'm going shopping. Like, I've never been to Europe, so I'm enjoying myself. I'm with my wife. That's actually where I made my baby, right? I made my first kid in London. So I'm in London shopping, enjoying London. Like, this is beautiful. I'm thinking it's everything that New York's supposed to be, and like, it's clean. They said the food was bad. The food was good. I'm like I'm really enjoying myself. But it's one thing I noticed. It's all white people out here. Like, where's black people? Like, who is it gonna be white people at our event? Like, what the heck? It's everywhere I go. I don't think I've seen. The 3 or 4 days I was there, I didn't see not one black person. It's crazy. The only black people there was us, and we brought our whole families with us too. So we really enjoyed. Like, it was amazing, right? And then our event comes. Granted, the spot could only hold 400 people. When I tell you we had 3,000 people outside and black people, all black people, I did a video. It was on my Instagram, but literally it went probably like 8 blocks. And that's when I said, it's different. It's different. And that's what you don't realize. What you're going through in your home, your area, your city, your state, your country, other people got the same issues, right? And they want to grow. They want to make money. They want to grow their YouTube. They want to grow their Instagrams, their social medias, their businesses. It's not just in front of you. You have to be able to look outside of you. And that's something I wasn't able to do until going to London. That definitely changed everything. That made me see a bigger picture. That made me see outside of America.
So when you guys were setting that all up, did you have like joint venture partners in London on boots on the ground to like help you pull it off, or did you have to fly back and forth to put? How did you put that all together? Because that's like,
We did have a couple of people that helped us with the getting the venue and telling us where we should stay and things like that. But as far as the audience, that was all us. That was all our platform, you know,
yeah,
and
yeah.
all of us building it. Whether it was, you know, Ian on his platform, built marketing on his, MG, the mortgage guy, marketing on his, because we're all partners and business partners in some way, right? We market on Earn Your Leisure. My brothers, their wives, their brothers, you know, everybody just pouring into to the brand. We all poured in. This was a family built brand. Everybody poured in. Like when we started Market Mondays, you know, Market Mondays was like our first show that we ever had to started, other than Earn Your Leisure. Like that was our first produced show, right? We produced, like solely produced Earn Your Leisure, where we were learning. But now we've understood the climate, we understood the technology, we understood the industry, we understood the marketing. So now we're going to be able to produce other shows. And Market Mondays was that was the first edition of EYL Network. And when we produced Market Mondays, it was a live show. It's still live, but you know, and people would comment, but it wasn't a lot of people engaging. So what we did was we told all our friends, all our family, yo, comment, do a super chat, leave that. It started to cause engagement. What that engagement did was started to say, oh, other people seeing it, oh, I'm missing out. Let me get engaged. And then it just catapulted into the widely successful, you know, Market Monday show that gets hundreds of thousands of views every week.
Now, I've had partners and it's not always easy. How do you guys manage? Because it's a lot of testosterone in your circle. And I know for me, when I'm around a lot of estrogen, sometimes it gets a little uneasy and a little uncomfortable. How do you guys manage when there's a dispute in the business? How do you manage it? How do you not let that spill over into your personal lives?
What do you mean? How do I manage the business?
No, if it's three of you guys and partnerships don't always go smooth. They don't always just, it's like happy go. I've had partners and it's not always smooth. Have you got, well, maybe you have had a smooth partnership. Maybe there have not been any heads bumping and things like that. Has that been the case? If it has, how do you handle that?
The best advice is say less. Listen, only comment on things you need to comment on. Don't try to change a person's mind about something. Like what they want is what they want. What you want is what you want. And, you know, be respectful. I think the number one thing is be respectful. If there's no respect in the partnership, then it's never going to work. Yeah. Right? So you have to have some type of respect. The thing with me, Troy, and Rashad, we've been friends a really long time. Like we grew up together. We didn't just meet. So what happens is that I'm, their kids call me uncle. My kids call them uncle. So the thing is that it's a family dynamic. Like we're going to argue. Like I've argued with Rashad. We have a yearly argument. Like I know I'm gonna get an argument with Rashad at least once a year, and we won't talk for like 3 or 4 months. It's been happening for the last 20 years. That's just what it is. But me and Rashad have like we bump heads, right? And that's why I say just say less. Like the less we are apart and don't try to get into no bullshit, the less we're gonna argue, right? The less we say it to each other, the less we'll argue. So that's how you handle like a Rashad, right? Because we're both alphas. We both want what we want. He wants this, I want that, and then we're gonna collide. And he wants to get his way, I want to get my way, and that's why you just have to. And knowing my personality, I knowing his personality, we know how to navigate through that friendship or that partnership. So it's easy. Troy's a little easier to deal with because Troy is more like understanding. You know, he has a more personable personality, so he's a more easygoing person. So, but listen, I get into some arguments with him, and most of my arguments with him is not calling Rashad out. So that's the arguments I get into with Troy, right? Because they'll call me out in a second, right? I'm the bad guy all the time. Like I cannot be in a partnership. I cannot work with nobody that doesn't take accountability. If you don't take accountability, I don't even want to talk to you. I don't want to do business with you. Like if there was somebody that I had to do business with me a couple of months ago, and he messed up and he didn't take accountability, I will never do business with him ever again. I don't care if he's the best in the world. If you don't take accountability, I lost respect for you. And what did I just say a few minutes ago? If I don't have respect for you, I can't do business with you. And that's, I think that's why it goes down to being respectful, with each other, and understanding people's personalities. Like they know like how I am, and I know how they are. So I'm not going to take it personal. I don't take nothing personal. So once you understand that, and understanding why you started, why you're doing it. If you understand why you're doing it, then it's bigger than me, it's bigger than them, and it's to change people's lives. And that's what we're doing. So once you got all that mixture of different things in that potion, be all right. You'll be all right.
Be all right. So how did you guys meet up with Ian? Because Ian be talking straight trash on Market Mondays, and it'd be funny sometimes because he don't care what he said. He was saying he talked about the market, but he's also gonna tell you exactly what he need to say. How did he get into the mix?
Ian, it was this. I think her name is Jury. We met her through a mutual friend, and we was in Houston. This is our early days where we were doing free networking events, and we were doing these free networking events in different cities throughout the country. And as we're doing these events, what happens? We're meeting more people. We're expanding our network. We're expanding our audience, and we end up meeting this young lady that was doing like what I was doing for Earn Your Leisure. She was doing for Ian. And she's like, yo, I got this really dope person. He's a stock investor. He's like the best. He's the greatest. He called himself the greatest investor alive. So we end up doing the interview, right? Shortly after we met the young lady. And believe it or not, that episode sat for 8 months. It sat for 8 or 9 months. We didn't put it out for 8 or 9 months. And that goes along with timing. You got to put it on the right timing. What was happening, the reason why we didn't put it out for 8 months, because what was the most important thing talked about was real estate. So why would you want to put a great investment video out on stocks when real estate is what people want to know about? Listening to the people. So that time came where people wanted to know about stocks because COVID happened and all that stuff. So the market went down, and now we got to talk about stocks. We put that episode out. It couldn't have been a better time. And that episode it just went like wildfire. It went crazy. It exploded. And by it exploding, we seen that it was a niche. It was something that people wanted to know. And when you understand what people want, they see that's the problem. They see they want to learn stocks. And you have what we have, Ian, which is the solution. We put Market Mondays together. So that was Ian's idea. He said, yo, I want to start a show. I believe he called it, he said Market Mondays. He hit us up. And that's when we started Market Mondays, and we started as a live show. And that thing just took off. It took off. But again, that was all everybody's support. Everybody poured into it, The thing is, I don't say don't pour into nobody. You got to pour into somebody. You got to pour into people, but just leave some for yourself. That's what I'm really mean, though. You got to leave some for yourself. Because if you pour your whole thing out, you don't got nothing for yourself.
I remember when Les Brown was sick, when he first got diagnosed with cancer. I think he was still married to Gladys Knight at the time. And he said, who motivates the motivator? Because he was motivating the world at that time. And I think he felt like nobody was motivating him, and he was going through something really rough. So you're right about that. You gotta pour into yourself, and you gotta find time to go away and spend some time by yourself, some alone time. And that's a good thing. Some people don't like being alone. Me personally, I need to sit somewhere and be in a quiet space and do what I got to do. Now I want to fast forward to the business engine, because I think I signed up for the business engine when I hit. So let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you how I got to Michael, how Michael and I connected. So Michael sent me a friend request on LinkedIn, right? And I'm looking like, wait a minute. I love Earning Leisure. I'm like planning my trip to Ghana, get my house and all that stuff. So I'm like been watching that whole thing. And I'm like, wait, let me holler back. But here's what I did was, because I'm a little bit shy sometimes. I was like, Thank you for requesting a friendship. Help me grow this into a big company or something. I said like that. He's like, what you trying to do? And it was crazy because that's how this whole conversation got going. Because in my mind, I really want to grow Good Morning Gwinnett into this multi-million-dollar brand in Gwinnett County. I want to be the number one hyper local podcast in the world. That's my goal, right? But
Do you believe
so
it?
I do believe it. I believe it more and more every day. And it's crazy because I just told my husband, like, look, I need to go buy a tent. I need to buy a banner. So I got all this stuff that's piled up downstairs in my dining room. So when I can go out and be in the community so people can really get to know who I am. So I do believe that, and I believe that
You said one word. You said one word before you said all that, right? That makes me
what I
believe that
say.
you don't really believe it.
What I say?
You said I'm trying.
I'm doing. I'm doing. I'm doing 4 days. I'm doing 5 days a week. I'm doing my mobile app right now. I'm doing my Amazon Fire TV app right now. So this show will be on there.
You gotta
I
really
am
believe that.
doing.
You gotta feel that. You gotta believe that. You gotta bleed it. Like if you bleed out, it's gonna bleed out Gwinnett County's local highest, richest podcast in the world. You gotta believe. You gotta bleed it.
Mike,
You
I
gotta feel
believe
it.
it.
You gotta
Listen,
when you
I
sleep, you
listen.
dream about it.
Let me tell you something. I went to bed the other night and I got out the bed to come in here because I think I forgot to do something on my website, right? So my husband said to me last night, "Would you get out the bed?" I was like, "I forgot to do something on Good Morning Gwinnett." I believe it. I can't
That's
say I've
it.
always believed it. I could
But
because
right
I
now you
couldn't
believe it.
see. I do. I believe with everything in
Look,
me. I
you got
couldn't be.
the co-founder Earn Your Leisure on your podcast.
I do,
You know
and
what
I'm
I'm saying? Look
excited.
at that. Look,
And
you
I
one
am
step closer.
grateful.
You one connection away. Troy and Rashad
I,
might be next.
listen, bring it. Listen,
You might
bring
be
them on.
the reporting live at InvestFest. Why not? You got to believe that shit.
Listen, I'm all for it. Listen, I will come there and do my thing. Trust me, I will. I believe it. I really do believe it, Mike. But I can tell you, I didn't always believe it. Here's my thing: I couldn't figure out how to make a hyper local because I used to talk about nothing but news. Like I will talk about Gwinnett news, and like I'm like, oh my god, and it's making me sick. All I could talk about is news, and news is normally bad, right? And I'm that person who I don't watch anything bad. Like there are just movies that I've never watched because it's gonna make me feel bad. And I was like, I don't want to watch that. So I got to the point where I just really did not want to talk about just news anymore. But this what I'm doing right now. I love doing this. And I was like, okay, Monday through Thursday, I'm gonna talk about just audio stuff. And on Friday, I'm gonna bring somebody on to talk about business in the blueprint. So I believe it. I know it's gonna happen. It's on my vision board there. It's on the vision board back there. That's my vision board. You see my board? That's my vision
I see
board.
it. I see
I
it.
believe. I believe. So I believe that it will be the number one
Well, at
hyperlocal
least
podcast
you
in
could
the
feel it. You
world.
could feel it now. You wrote it down, so now you can feel it.
Oh,
It's tangible.
absolutely. It's on my
You made
phone.
your dream a reality because you can feel it now. You didn't just keep it up here. That's a
Yeah.
major
So
step. That's a major step in bringing your dream to life.
yeah. Yeah. And that's important. And I know that me doing what I'm doing right now and talking to you that this is going to help somebody as well. And I got a whole lot of people that I got lined up to talk to. So, hey, by the way, make sure you subscribe to the show wherever you're listening so you can never miss an episode. Talk about the business engine and why did you decide now that you want to come forward? Because you kind of been the man in the background making stuff happen, making shit really like pop off. Like that's been you. What made you say, you know what, it's time for me to step out? It's time for me to step out and be seen right now. What made you decide to make that transition?
Well, I have a wealth of knowledge, right? And as I said earlier, I've been pouring in myself. I've been pouring into other people so much that I didn't really have any left for me. And I started to feel empty. I started to feel like I had no purpose, right? And in order
Mm,
to feel like you have purpose, you have to do things for yourself. In order to feel good,
mm,
you have to work out. You have to get a haircut. You have to dress good. Deion Sanders says, if you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you do good, right? So I started to, and then I had a son, and like when he looks at me, like I want him to look at somebody great,
yeah,
And the way I was moving, I wasn't moving like he would look at someone as great. So I had to just start doing things from Michael MacDonald and building Michael MacDonald to where my kids and my wife could look at me as the greatest person I am, right? Like my wife definitely sees, my greatness inside of me, but, and she knows that I have this greatness inside of me. My brothers, my family, they all know that
Yeah.
I have the greatness inside of me. So I love helping people. Like I've been helping people my whole entire life. I do believe I'm selfless, and like people told me, but I started to like think about it. Like, damn, yeah, I be doing a little too much. I gotta chill out. But so I said, why not start helping people, with their businesses, with their social medias, with their YouTube, just start making content. I do want to speak. I like speaking. I would love, like, my dream is going to be speaking and getting paid for it, right? Which I'm doing already, but I want to do it at a high level. So that's my dream. That's where it's gonna be. Gonna be. I'm not trying, I'm gonna do it.
All
So
right.
I needed to create a platform, right? And I was thinking of like the MacPac. I realized that I was trying to make the business edge in the MacPac, and it's two different audiences, right? So, and this is me pouring into myself, right? Getting knowledge from coaches, getting knowledge from other people, and just learning. Just like the last year, I've been soaking myself up with so much information. But my MacPac is really a skilled community where you learn a skill. Most of the time, people go to YouTube and they have to look at 10 different videos to learn one thing. Where that one thing that you want to learn, if it's in the MacPac, it's going to teach you. You don't have to guess, right? It's a proven method, right? So that was what that was for. But I was trying to incorporate also the things that I teach in the business engine. So, like I said, I'm the engine behind, a lot of these brands. So
Yeah.
what does it take? What does this engine consist of? It consists of, as we spoke, the right business model. When you start a business, you have to have the right business model in place, right? The next thing is systems, right? I do much less for Earn Your Leisure than I did 2 years ago. Why? Because one, we have a system in place, and then people can come in to that system, and it would run seamlessly without me because we have a system in place. Now, do you want to do day-to-day operations every single day forever in your business, or do you want to step away from your business and do what you're great at so your business can grow and scale and scale and scale? Most of the time, that answer is going to be yes. So you have to have the right system in place. The next
Yeah.
thing I wanted to teach is marketing. How are people able to get people to know you, like you, and respect you, and want to give you money, right? What are you going to do to make people feel that, right? That has been my biggest challenge for me, because I can easily teach people how to do it, but it's been my biggest challenge for me because I'm a private person. I don't really let people into my personal life, like my personality. Like, you get to really know me, you'd be like, yo, this guy's wild cool. He's really cool, right? But I'm on camera, I'm very reserved. One is because I'm behind a really major organization, and I don't want to, inflict uh, any idea of that this person is acting like this, and I'm from the hood. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, Troy and Rashad grew up in houses. I grew up in the projects. It's a little different. Like, yeah, we had same friends, but I grew up differently, I grew up in a single family home. They both had their
Yeah.
parents. So, it was like having no dad is kind of growing up with chaos. You have no structure, right? So and it shows like in my personality. I'm an outgoing person. That's why I said I'm a true extrovert. I'm an outgoing person. So how do you take your personality and mix it with your marketing strategies to get people to come know you, like you, and trust you? So that I teach that. So, and the next thing is systems, is sales, right? Now do you have the business model? So you have the right business model in place. And that's the hardest thing in the world, to get the right business model. And if you have no foundation for a house, it's just going to fall if a windstorm comes, right? So you want to have that right foundation, right? So that's why I'm teaching that. So the next thing, like I said, was going to be the systems. You want this house to flow. You want the electric bill to be paid. You want the water bill to be paid. You want all this to be on automatic, right? Automated, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the marketing to get people to come to this business and to spend money with you, right? Or to interact, to give you attention, right? Now, now that you got all this attention, how do you consistently raise your conversion rates to get people to spend money with you, right? You want them to consistently spend money with you. A lot of people, this is one little gem. Like a lot of people have like 100 people that spent money with them, right? And they trying to find another 100 people to spend money with them. Why not create something else that the first 100 people spent money with you? Because they already know you, they like you, and they trust you. Why not make a different product or a different service and get them to spend more money with you? Because they already, if you did good business with them, the first 100 people, why not create something else that's going to help them, right?
Yeah.
And do business with them and stop trying to go over here and over there when you got what you need right there. Like 100 people can build $1 million business. So, and that's why I teach the sales. So I'm going to do a bonus day on Friday. I'm going to teach AI. And I've been learning, I'm not an expert. Like I wouldn't say I'm an expert in AI, but I'm an expert at creating AI systems to automate your business. Like there's so much AI going on. So I don't want to be known as an expert, but everything I'm going to teach you how to automate it with AI. That's what I'm going to do. So that is really why I wanted to just give these, and I'm not even like, what you're paying for this class, what you're paying for the class is basically just paying for the ads. That's it. Like I'm not making $1 off of this class. So the goal is to just really just promote it as many people as possible and get as many people inside the class. And once they realize what they got, they're gonna be like, if you're making $1,000 a month, you'll make 10,000 right away. If you're making 10,000, you'll make 100,000. You're gonna 10x whatever you're doing, because
I can't wait.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be fun.
I can't.
So that's the business.com. And can I offer like your audience a free gift?
Absolutely. Wait, that's free. Yeah, hold on a second. I gotta tell you this real quick.
All right.
Hold on one second. You can offer the free gifts. Absolutely. So let me tell you what I've done, because you asked me, was I serious? And I believe it. Let me tell you what I've done. So I know I need to talk about news, right, in the podcast. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to use AI to create a news segment that's going to come on every morning at 7:00. All AI done, system in place. I'm going to use AI to do a 5 a.m. inspiration. So you get up, you listen to something inspirational. And then on Sundays, because I like sports, I'm going to use AI to do a sports rundown. This is me taking Good Morning Gwinnett to the next level, doing exactly what you're saying, using AI for all this automation. And I'm telling you, I sat down and I was like, okay, how can I do this? Freaking AI is amazing. It did the whole automation plan for me. I'm like, okay, all I got to do is implement. So I'm excited about the business engine. I registered and I was like, I'm doing the 5-day challenge.
Thank you.
Excited about that. You have a coach. You say you have a speaking coach, or you got coaches, right? Sometimes people feel like having a coach is beyond them. I personally don't have that type of ego. My business is not making millions of dollars. I want to make millions of dollars. So I'm taking your challenge. I'm in the morning meetup every morning at 8:00. Talk about how important a coach is in this type of training that you're going to be providing before you do your giveaway.
So I got to give credit to Marcus for this quote, right? Marcus Y. Rozier, he gave me this quote, and I told him I'm going to use it. And I told him I might end up keeping it and telling his mine. Let me see if I can find it. I think I know it by heart, but let me see. I wanted to say it verbatim. All right, I can't find it, but he said, what exactly did he say? He said, "You learn forward, you teach backwards."
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say it one more time. You learn forwards, you teach backwards. Why do I say that? I say that because when you want to learn something, you want to learn from somebody that is where you want to go. Yeah. And when you want to teach somebody, you want to teach somebody that where you want to teach someone that wants to get to where you are. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I say that to say this. You get a coach, and you got to make sure your coach is where you want to go. If you get a coach that is behind you, then it's not going to help you move forward. But if you get a coach, and when I say behind you, I don't mean in terms of a person, but in terms of the knowledge you're trying to get from them. I'm trying to get I'm trying to learn how to speak, how to articulate my thoughts from, say, Marcus, right? And he's the best speaking coach in the world. I'm gonna just put that out there. And I want to be able to articulate myself the way he does it. And he's the best teaching coach in the world. So I got to give him credit for that, right? So I want to be able to speak like him, right? I want to be able to obviously put my touches on it and my personality on it. But for me to be able to do that, I have to learn from somebody that has those qualities and that are able to teach it. So now I'm learning forward. Now I start the business engine. I'm teaching backwards. People that want to build a platform, build a social media, build their YouTube, build their brands, build their businesses. I'm going to show you how to do it because I've done it, and I've done it multiple times, and I've created 5, 8-figure businesses. So people that want an 8-figure business, they're going to learn from me because they might have a 7-figure, they might have a 6-figure, 5-figure, but to get to an 8-figure, I'm going to show you how, and that's what the business engine is about, and that's why you also need a coach but it's also picking the right coach. I just told you I told you I got a trainer. And his body's crazy. I won't get a trainer that looks fat because he looks like me. So I'm going to learn the right technique to work out from a trainer that has the body that I desire. So I'm learning forward and I'm going to teach backward. I could teach you what not to do to get this in terms of fitness, but that's what it basically is. And I think that's why you get a coach or a mentor.
Yeah, and I think that's so important. Let me tell you this though, and I'm gonna let you talk about that free offer. I'm gonna go get that. I'm gonna go buy me a sauna to put in my house. I know you got one in your house already because your coach probably told you to get in the sauna. I'm gonna go get one and put in my house so I can get in the sauna. But I need the one that's gonna come right here because you know how we feel about our hair. I'm like, man, I'm gonna go in the sauna, be sweaty. I saw your video about the sauna. I was like, I need to get a sauna. What's your free offer?
Oh, it's not an offer. It's just like, listen, if you want it, you want it. If you don't, you don't. But you don't even got to, I don't even want your email. All you got to do is, I'll put social. You follow me. All I want you to do is follow me and message me social. So bam, put that in the comments. Follow me, go to Instagram, Michael J. MacDonald. Follow me on Instagram and message me social. And I'm going to send you literally how to monetize your social media today. Literally today, you'll be able to monetize your social media. It's a video I'm gonna send you that's literally gonna teach you how to monetize your social media today.
Listen, I hope you guys and Michael, I could talk I got 25 questions that I didn't even get to.
Wow.
No, I got more than 25. I got 25 plus 6, 31 questions. I didn't even get to because I don't want to hold you. I appreciate you though. And listen, if y'all need somebody to podcast live from InvestFest, I am raising my hand. I will surely come in and do a great job for you guys. Let me know. I will would love to do that. But in any event, thank you so much for just sharing. It's so nice when I can bring people on and people can see like where you started, where you're going. Did y'all hear what he said? He said it kind of fast. He said 5, 8-figure business, not 5, 7, 5, 8-figure business. So why would I not do the 5-day challenge? And why would I not try to figure out how to let him coach me to at least a 7-figure to start out till we get to that 10-figure? Because I know by next year they're gonna be at 10-figure. Right now I'm trying to get to the 5. I'm in the 7, so I'm excited about that. If you want to reach out to him, that's his Instagram. DM him the word social. It's right there. DM, put it up there. Michael, thank you again. Last bit of advice you can give somebody who is listening and thinking about, oh my God, I don't know what to do next. What's your advice for them?
Go with your heart. I mean, do something that you really that feels right. And when you're doing it, it feels like poetry in motion. It doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like you're stressed out, and then find someone that is doing that thing that feels right, that you love to do. Find someone that's highly successful doing it and learn from them. Yeah. How to make money, or how to impact people, whatever it is that you want. Because money's not everything. I don't post on social media for money. It's not, I just post on social media because one, I'm learning. My first thing is learning how to speak and being comfortable in front of the camera. But two, is just helping people. Like, I like to help people. So if you could take, like, I posted a video last week on YouTube. Man, if anybody watched that video they would literally, it's money sitting in your mailbox. Money sitting in your mailbox. And it's
Video
just,
is that?
it's literally the last video I posted. It's about mailbox money. How so you're from up top, so you might have had the Clipper magazine. You know that? But you're in
Yes.
Atlanta, so
Yes.
Dale,
The little mailer that come in the mail. Yes, the Clipper.
yeah,
Yes.
you have all those people, all those businesses that advertise in that magazine, right? And you have a podcast. You have a local podcast. You 100% should be doing this because you have an audience in a area that is condensed where people are advertising. I know for a fact you get a Gwinnett magazine that comes to your house that has all these advertisers, these local service advertisers that's advertising in that book. I know for 100% fact that you have that. You literally call every single one of those people and get them to pay $100, $50, $1,000, whatever it is, to advertise on your podcast because you got more reach than the Clipper magazine because your video can go 100,000, 10,000. They're not getting that much reach with the Clipper magazine or whatever Gwinnett magazine that's coming in your community. So they're actively there's two things you got to understand about these people that are in that book. One is they actively are spending money. So they're making money because they're spending money. But two is they want more business because they're spending money to get more business. So if you said, hey, ABC Construction, give me $100, I'll put you on four shows a month. All right, it's just $100, but it's that $100 that you didn't have, right? And what happens when, down the street construction sees that you're on, that they see ABC Construction on it? Whoa. They're my competition. If they're on there, I don't want them to outdo me. I need to get back. I need to get on there. So now you go to down the street construction and say, hey, give me $500. That's the game. Yeah. Next thing you know, you're making like $10, $15, $20,000 a show.
Wow. Okay, you make it sound real. Okay, so that's why the business.
It's so simple. It's so simple. So simple.
Listen, people say that when I say that to people about tech, they be like, Audrey, you said simple. And it sounds simple because it's coming out your mouth. Michael, you say that's simple, but you got people who are deathly afraid of sales. They're deathly afraid of not going to do and ask for some money. So I'm interested to see like how you're going to break me out of that.
And that's why I said hire somebody to do sales and commission based. There are a lot of people out there that would do commission based, and tell them, give them 50%. Entice them with 50%, right? Every deal, because every dollar that's not spent with you is spent with someone else, and that's missing out on you.
True that. Well, listen, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you spending the time with me. I can't wait to take the Business Engine 5-day challenge. Listen, if you guys have not done it, be sure to go check it out. Join us because I'll be there for the 4th through the 7th, the 7th through the 11th. I'll be right there in the class.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Enjoy your day.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for having me on your platform.
No problem. Thank you. All right, guys, listen. You too. Thank you so much for listening. You could have been anywhere, but you spent a long time with me. We did 1 hour and 17 minutes a day. I'll be back again on Monday, not tomorrow, because tomorrow is Friday. Normally this show will be on Friday, but I have a meeting tomorrow, so I'll be back on Monday. Be sure to subscribe to the show, share the show with a friend, like the YouTube channel. Go follow me on LinkedIn because that's where most of the shows are. You can find them there, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram. You can follow me on all of those platforms and connect with me there. And listen, share the show with 2 people. It's free. You ain't got to do nothing but share with 2 people. I'll be back again on Monday at 10 a.m. God willing. You guys stay safe out there. And until next time, my friends, until next time, make it a great day. Bye, everybody.
You've been watching or listening to the Good Morning Gwinnett Show, hosted by Audrey Bell Kearney, Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe to the show today and share it with your friends by going to www.goodmorninggwinnett.com.